Alright, we rolling. Shalom, y'all here once again giving all praises to
Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakwada.
So we're just gonna flow through the spirit and see where it takes us.
It's Isaiah 29:7. Actually, I'm gonna start at the 5th verse. It says, "Moreover, the multitude of thy strangers shall be like small dust, and the multitude of the terrible ones shall be as chaff that passeth away. Yea, it shall be at an instant suddenly. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh, power of hosts, with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire."
So let's focus on storm and tempests. You see what just happened over there in Florida.
Yeah,
They had a back-to-back hurricane.
they couldn't catch a break.
Yeah, so it led to some people evacuating. You know what I mean? So really everything that we read in the scriptures coincides with what's happening in reality.
Florida, they got hit with it bad because even after the first one, Helene, the debris wasn't even all cleaned up from that. So now you got Hurricane Milton coming in, and all that debris that was on the streets from the previous hurricane gets scattered all throughout. I seen fucking, what's it called, stoves just randomly in people's yards. Really? I'm like, god damn, you see people's power lines all out, people's houses caught on fire. That's nothing but judgment.
And I heard that they're in such a high-risk area that insurance companies pulled out. Like, if you want to get home insurance, I heard it's damn near impossible.
FEMA, they're not doing nothing.
Yeah, they said that they ran out of funds. Then what does Kamala do? How much is she offer? $750? Something
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah. They say that's just like it's something they give you, but there's supposed to be more to come. That's just something they give you for now.
Man, that's
But what is that gonna do? $750?
That's nonsense. A whole bunch of nonsense. Give all the money to these foreign countries, but when it's a time of need for U.S. citizens, you don't help them. So that goes to show you that this country doesn't give a damn about you. They show you every day, especially the so-called black man. So I don't know what it is with our people. What is the reason why they want to stay here in Babylon?
Yeah. They can't let go. It's like, what do you really have though that you're hanging on to like so strongly though?
You want to hold on to your 9-to-5 job,
Right.
that works you like crazy and that pays you peanuts? That's what you want?
Your studio apartment, that's what you're holding on to? Your hoopty? Or that car you leasing?
Or that woman that gets on your nerves, but you have to stay with her because you're too broke to stay by yourself.
That's tribulation right there.
That's Jake for you in the hood.
Facts.
A lot of Jakes. Yeah, I just needed a place to stay.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 17. This is Ezra. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrow and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come?
So we're seeing all that happening right before our eyes now. You know what I mean? They're saying that Iran, that they're on hots right now. Like, the level of suspense is getting to them because they don't know when they're gonna get attacked. Because the Small had said that they're gonna retaliate. They said that.
That's what the Lord, he gave Ezra the vision. And Ezra, he just wrote down the vision he seen. And it was so bad, he was just thinking like, who's gonna help? Who's gonna be there to help me in this day? And I be meditating on that too. Like, yo, say if all hell breaks loose, what are you gonna do? Like everything is up and running. They got the MOTB up and running, and you just catching hell. But it's like, what are you gonna do? All you can do in that day is pray and hope that you're of the elect. says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. And the Lord, he sends these, plagues and all this tribulation to try and get you right, hoping that you'll turn back to his ways and just turn back to him.
Yeah, because this is just a calm before the storm.
Exactly.
I see next year, I predict that it's going to be hectic.
It's only going to get worse from here.
Yeah.
It says, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of their scourges. You see, all this hell that's going on here on the planet Earth, people are still going to be wicked. They're not going to really try and seek the true and living power, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai.
And the only ones that are the elect, the hopeful elect.
Exactly. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion.
Sword is a representation of death and destruction. Okay?
You can't tell me great confusion isn't going on in this place. Only in America are people going back and forth having debates on how many genders there are. Like this is just nonsense here. You don't find that nowhere in any other country in the world where this is a point of contention. It says, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
Oh, so there's going to be no way out for a lot of Jakes. And also the other nations that are here in this country, America. So the only way that you're going to get saved is if you have protection from the Most High. You know how it says in Ezekiel 9:4, Most High set a mark upon them that sigh and cry. That was a spiritual mark, meaning that person is exempt from judgment. This person's they're gonna get delivered. They're gonna make it. You know what I mean?
Right. That's it. We can really read this whole chapter. Stop right there. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 5, verse 7. I'll start at the 6th verse. It says, and say not his mercy is great. He will be pacified for the multitude of my sins. For mercy and wrath come from him.
Yeah, so mercy and wrath comes from the Most High. So it's a two-way street. The same way that you would see somebody make it out of a bad situation, it's the same way that you would see somebody wound up in a bad situation. So it's like you really can't get involved. It comes from the Most High. It's divine.
Right. It says, for mercy and wrath come from him, and his indignation resteth upon sinners. It says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth.
So don't delay repenting and turning back to the Most High. Because you never know when the day is going to be your last.
Right.
The Most High just might blow your candlestick out that day. You know what? This hard-headed nigga didn't want to listen. That's it, man. And in a way, that's him having mercy on you. Because it was only going to get bad for you if you never repented.
It says, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed, and perish in the day of vengeance.
In thy security thou shalt be destroyed.
Y'all false sense of security.
And your full sense of security. So you might have money, you might have power, you might have access to resources, and you think that you can't get touched. I got a piece up. I think it's Ecclesiasticus 8 and 11. Yep.
What is it?
Ecclesiastes 8 and 11.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Yeah, so that judgment from the Most High for evil works can be delayed. However, it does not mean that it's not going to come to you.
Says though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged.
Yeah, because you might wonder, like, yo, this guy is wicked, he's evil. When is he gonna get his judgment?
Or they kill that nigga yet?
He's gonna get yours one day. He's gonna get yours one day.
Get yours. Says though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before the Most High.
Right. So we just worry about ourselves. We don't worry about what's gonna happen to the next man. You know what I mean? Like, if a dude ain't right, we already know what's gonna happen to them if they don't repent. They're not gonna make it.
This is 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. It says, the Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptation, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. So see, like, just because the Lord, didn't take people out immediately for their wickedness doesn't mean they're going to get away with anything. The Lord may just take them out with those missiles.
Yeah. Or you might die in Jacob's trouble.
Right.
Caught up in some type of civil unrest. You know.
James. Let's go to Ezekiel. We'll start at the 31st verses. Ezekiel 18 and 31. It says, cast away from you all your transgressions, whereby ye have transgressed, and make you a new heart and a new spirit. For why will ye die, O house of Israel? For I have no pleasure in the death of him that dieth, saith the Lord Yahweh. Wherefore turn yourselves and live ye. So exactly, repent. Put off that old man. The Lord, he doesn't want to have to kill his people, but he will. But again, only the elect will resonate with this message. If you're not of the elect, it's just not for you. Your lot in life is to just die here.
Because the Most High, he tried it. He tried it in Egypt when he saved everybody.
Exactly.
Look how that worked. They was in the wilderness complaining. They still wasn't believers.
Exactly.
There it is. You saw Moses get the power from the Most High to part the Red Sea and cross over the Gulf of Suez. That still wasn't enough for niggas to follow the Most High.
In the wilderness, setting up false idols. That's Jake for you, though.
Yeah, they was setting up the golden calf.
Golden calf in the wilderness.
And then Moses came back down. He cursed them out, right?
Says they are a hard-headed, stiff-necked people. That's Jake. Even in the wilderness, they found a way to do wickedness.
That's crazy though, because we was actually there. If you think about it, we was there in our past lives, and that would have been enough for me to believe. I'd have been like, yo, I done seen everything.
Yo. This is Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 25.
see why there's a 2/3 though.
What's up?
I see why there's a 2/3.
Oh,
I see
that's
why.
the will of the Lord. It's Jeremiah 5:25. Your iniquities have turned away these. Actually, I'm gonna start up. I'll start the 23rd verse. It says, but Jeremiah 5:23 says, but this people hath a revolting and a rebellious heart. They are revolted and gone.
Yep.
This people being, the Israelites.
People on the side right over here.
It says, neither say they in their heart, let us now fear the Lord Yahweh our power, that giveth rain, both the former and the latter, in his season. He reserveth unto us the appointed weeks of the harvest. Your iniquities have turned away those things, and your sins have withholden good things from you. See, Jake, fulfilling their lot is the 2/3. You're declining, the promise. You're turning your back on it. You're saying, no, I don't want it. And that's why you're just going to have to die. It says,
You're not going to make it.
Says, for among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that setteth snares. They set a trap, they catch men. As a cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit.
Yep, and that's them guys that are in them Christian churches and they call themselves pastors and preachers, but really they're just false prophets.
Yep. Says, therefore they are become great and waxen rich.
Yeah, because they're pimping the congregation. Here it is. They wanna have all these numbers in their church, but they're not teaching the truth. They're not teaching you how you're supposed to conduct yourself according to the Bible. They're not telling you what's gonna happen in the future as far as prophecy goes. All it is pay your tithes. You're gonna have a blessed year. You're gonna get that house. You're gonna get that job. Your children are gonna go to college and be successful. That's all they want to teach is that prosperity doctrine.
It's all a money play.
And they want to sing and play songs and dance. And play the drums and guitar.
Like, the Negro church is just a menstrual show.
Like, what is the point of that? You might as well just join a band at that point.
It's all bullshit. Then you got the old lady running up and down, jumping up and down, saying she got the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit doesn't have people act like that. That's a demon. It says they are waxing fat. They shine. Yeah, they oppress the deeds of the wicked. They overpass the deeds of the wicked.
And that's how wicked our people are. The Most High compared us to the wicked.
Right.
The wicked, which is Esau. It's like we're supposed to be the righteous, holy people, and we surpass the deeds of the wicked. That's sad. Our people are selfish. All they want to do is focus on making money in these churches, but they're not teaching the truth.
Says they judge not the cause of the fatherless, yet they prosper, and the right of the needy do they not judge. Shall I not visit for these things, saith the Lord Yahweh?
Yeah, because they may think that they're doing the right thing, but the Most High sees the wrong that they're doing. So ultimately, those type of people, they're not going to make it. Like I said, they're not going to get delivered from the destruction. They're going to eat a vessel. Simple as that. And that's just the latter end. That's if you make it to that point. You know what I mean? Really, so if you're not of the elect, there's no way out. So it's really in your best interest for a lot of Jakes, if they're non-believers, to just leave the country now while you still can. Go to somewhere neutral.
She said that. Start the 18th verse. This is Amos chapter 5, verse 18. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord Yahweh. To what end is it for you?
Yeah, and just to focus on what you just said, I heard a clip from Charlemagne the God. You know him? Yeah. Charlemagne the God. He was saying how it's so bad over here, life is so bad that the only way for a lot of people to seek help is for God to come back. He said that that's what his son said. He said that his son can't wait for God to come back because they was talking about the situation in Florida with the hurricane, how them people aren't getting help.
Man, that place is fucked up. Imagine getting hit back to back like that. You didn't even have a chance to recover from the first one.
This whole world is messed up.
Yeah. So, Amos 5:18 again says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light."
Why is it darkness? It's because when the missiles drop, it's going to be so much smoke and fire in the sky, in the air. On top of that, you're going to have the chariots of the Most High, also known as the so-called UFOs, that are shooting down evil beings. And then Yahweh Shai, he's going to come back in a gigantic fathership. You know, the scriptures liken the ships as like mountains, and mountains in the sky, because that's how gigantic they are.
And clouds.
Yep.
You're gonna have it's gonna be so big it's gonna cast a shadow on like certain parts of this place. The Amos 5:19, it says, "As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him."
So the bear and the lion, you could say, is a representation of Russia and China.
And it's speaking parabolically, as in there's no escape. If you're not of the elect, you're gonna get caught up one way or the other. Are you gonna get caught up by that bear, or are you gonna get caught up by that snake?
Yup. There's gonna be no way out. You know how it says in Jeremiah, how they're gonna bend the bow and they're gonna shoot all of their arrows. So their whole arsenal, they're gonna unleash it.
Oh, excuse me.
This is Jeremiah, back to Jeremiah. This is chapter 5, verse 29. It says, "Shall I not visit for these things, saith the Lord Yahweh? Shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this? A wonderful and horrible thing is committed in the land. The prophets prophesy falsely, and the priests bear rule by their means, and my people love to have it so. And what will ye do in the end thereof?"
Yeah. You're really just gonna sit there and wait to die.
I'm telling you, watch all hell break loose in this place. They're gonna be going to pastor trying to get answers. He ain't gonna have them.
They're gonna have their pastor on hotline. Especially Jakes from certain Bible Belt areas.
Yo,
You know what I mean?
This is James chapter 4, verse 13. It says, "Go to now, ye that say today or tomorrow. We will go into such a city and continue there a year, and buy and sell, and get gain. Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow. For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time, and then vanisheth away."
In other words, you never know when your day is going to be your last day.
Them people in Florida, I'm sure they had plans, but that's done away with now. It says, "For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live, and do this or that. But now ye rejoice in your boasting. All such rejoicing is evil. Therefore to him that knoweth to do good, and doeth it not, to him it is sin."
Yeah, so that's the worst, when you know better and you could do better, but you don't.
You got a precept? Or I got one.
You got one?
I'm gonna start at the 3rd verse. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 2. Yeah, I'll start at the 3rd verse. It says, "And I was with you in weakness and in fear, and in much trembling. And my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man's wisdom, but in demonstration of the Spirit and power." You see, man's wisdom, like that prosperity doctrine, that's all man's wisdom. The Lord's not dealing with that. It says, "Declaring unto you the testimony of the Most High." Oh, Salakias, 5th verse. It says that your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of the Most High. Howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not the wisdom of the world, nor of the princes of this world.
The wisdom of this world, that's these people that go to college and get their degree, but they don't really know anything. They don't know what the future holds.
Right. These real estate investors buy my program.
We'll see how beneficial that is when the economy collapses.
Right.
When the dollar collapses. Shoot, they're even saying now that real estate, there's really no money in that.
Yeah.
Because the interest rates are so high. So it's like you're gonna invest into real estate and then, have a high interest rate. It's gonna cut into your profit margin.
Who could really afford that shit?
Yeah, and then people are too broke to really even afford a house.
You're gonna have a bunch of conglomerates. Well, not even a bunch. You're just gonna have a few conglomerates that own everything. People can't buy houses like this. This ain't the 80s. This ain't the 70s.
Or you got to think now where people are house poor. They just barely get by. They can just barely afford the house. Or you also have people that'll move into a house and there'll be like 6, 7 people in the same house. And you all chipping in on a mortgage. But really, that's no way to live. I mean, who wants to really help the person who's got the mortgage and their name pay off the mortgage? It's like, what do you gain from that? You know what I mean? That's how people are going to be thinking.
Especially with Jake. Jake gonna fall out behind that shit.
Yeah, everybody wants their own thing, something to call for themselves. You know what I mean? And it's just hard to capture that here in America.
That's not an ideal situation. That's something you just have to do because you have no choice.
Yeah, so
who the fuck wants to be 6 people to a fucking house?
That's poverty, really.
Yeah, it is.
You're not that much far from people living in South America.
That's tragic.
Central America.
But again, this is what you people want to hang on to. I can't just let it go.
And what's also another indication that Esau is the devil? The fact that you have these various countries around the world that are rich in resources and yet they're still an impoverished country. The reason for that is because you have entities such as NATO and the EU, which is really the economic gatekeepers of the entire world. So they could shut you out of the world economy. They could put tariffs on you or embargoes. You know what I mean? Make it so where that you can't trade.
It's really just oppression.
So you're really gonna go as far as they allow you to go, as long as Esau is in power of this world.
You're just gonna have to play ball, get down and lay down. You don't want to play, then you ain't gonna have shit here.
They're gonna, because they're gonna shake you down.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, I need my cut.
Gotta kick up, gotta pay your vig. It's 1 Corinthians 2 and 5 says that your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of the Most High. Howbeit, we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not the wisdom of this world, nor of the princes of this world that come to naught. You see, we're not out here kicking a prosperity doctrine. We're out here giving you the truth that the Lord is coming to destroy this place. It says, but we speak the wisdom of the Most High in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom, which the Most High ordained before the world unto our glory.
Yeah, and this is the real wisdom. What we're teaching, what we're preaching. However, a lot of people, they don't want it. So It's whatever. We don't care.
Right.
We know it's supposed to be this way.
Keep it moving. It says, which none of the princes of this world knew, for had they known it, they would not have crucified the Lord our glory.
Yeah, so in other words, if let's say like go back to 2,000 years ago, the Roman Empire knew everything according to the scriptures and what was going to take place in the future, they would have never did what they did to Yahweh Shah. They would have been like, you know what, we got to appease these people. But at the same time, that wasn't the way that the Most High wanted it to be. You got to understand, like, this is like his movie that he's in control of. You know, you want to wonder why the chosen people of the Most High are in such a low state, why they're so wicked and evil. Well, it's because that's the way the Most High has it set up.
Right.
He could have kept us right. You know what I mean?
Right.
He could have made it to where we never had to go into various captivities throughout history. But it all leads up to the point of the kingdom of heaven, because that's going to be the end all be all. You know, once we're in the kingdom, we're going to have a great appreciation for life.
We're all just pieces on a chessboard, even Esau. And the Lord, he's just playing. He's playing chess by himself. You know how people do that? That's the Lord. 1 Corinthians 2:9 says, but as it is written, I have not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which the Most High hath prepared for them that love him. And when it's talking about heart, you go into that word, it's, let's see, the wild. Okay, here in the Greek, it's cardia. And when it's talking about the heart, it really means your mind. So if you're not of the elect, you're not going to get this hidden and the mysterious knowledge. It says, but the Most High hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit. For the Spirit searcheth all things, ye the deep things of the Most High. You can stop.
St. John 12 and 25.
This is John chapter 12, verse 25. It says, he that loveth his life shall lose it.
He that loveth his life shall lose it. I can't stand a person that says, oh, I love life.
Yeah.
I love it here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have a conversation with people like that. Especially if that individual is a Jake. So-called black, Latino, or Native American. You know what I mean? Because for the most part, our people are struggling. I know you got rich amongst our people. However, it doesn't mean that we're all successful.
But then, honestly, I think these people are fucking lying anyway. How the fuck you happy here? You don't got nothing.
Living my best life.
You have nothing and you're happy for what? Again, John 12 and 25. It says, he that loveth his life shall lose it, and he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal.
Yes, so that's us. That's our hope, that we have eternal life. Because we can't stand the way that we living over here in Babylon. We know that this world is uncivilized, and that we can have so much more and live even better. You know what I mean?
Right.
I know that some people have it worse than others, you know? But like I said, we could all be living so much better as a people. You know, we could have our lives in order, our community, you know, our people, you know what I mean?
It's like when you come into the knowledge and you really understand, like, this is a promise that the Lord gave his people. And when did the Lord ever break his promise? When did the Lord ever say something was going to happen and it didn't happen?
And as it stands now, we're under the curses.
Right. And that's something that the Lord said he was going to do to us. And look how it happened.
You know?
Read Deuteronomy 28, the 16th verse down.
You know how it says that we would want everything that our enemies have? roughly paraphrasing, we would have to go to them for everything
Yeah.
because it's not like we own or control the textiles that create clothing and the material for the clothing. You know who owns those industries? The small hats. Them people over there. I can't call them out by name, but you know what I mean.
Let you know who's running this shit.
Exactly. The people that crucified Kyrie, remember a couple of years ago? Because he clicked the link, he shared that book.
For sharing a link. This is John 12:26. It says, if any man serve me, let him follow me. And where I am, there shall also my servant be. If any man serve me, him will my Father honor. I got a precept.
Oh, and that shows you that Yahweh Shai and the Most High are separate. They're not the same people.
Yahweh Shai is our mediator to Yahweh. He's pleading our cause for us, speaking on our behalf.
They're separate people, but under the same minds.
Right.
The same agreement. That's all it means. You know that the church has the Holy Trinity doctrine.
Right.
They'll say that Jesus is God and the Father and the Son. He's everything together, combined. All that nonsense.
This is Luke chapter 17, verse 33. It says, whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it.
Oh, so that says the same thing. It says the same thing in John.
It says, I tell you, in that night there shall be two men in one bed. The one shall be taken, and the other shall be left. Two women shall be grinding together. The one shall be taken, and the other left. Two men shall be in the field. The one shall be taken, and the other left. And they answered and said unto him, where, Lord? And he said unto them, wheresoever the body is, thither will the eagle be gathered together.
Yeah, so it's like we all living like the same lives daily. We all have to get up every day and fend for ourselves, go to work, support our families. We all live that normal lifestyle for the most part. So there's going to be that separation eventually where one graduates and one just stays and gets left behind and dies.
1/3 and a 2/3.
I know there's some Jakes though that quit and they gave up on the capitalist system and they'd rather be homeless. You know what I mean? Hey, I can't knock you for that. You want to do that, do your thing. Because capitalism, it really does hold you back. It's really a system that keeps the rich rich and keeps the poor poor.
And then living like that though, it's like, at least we have the understanding that if we do right, we're going to be saved. We have that to comfort us. You just living off the grid, out the system poor, it's like, damn. It's like, what do you have to live for? You just living in your car, you just, like, for like what? Like, what's the end goal here?
I mean, like, we could do that if we wanted to.
Yeah, but it's like,
we could all go be homeless. It's not hard. Just miss some payments.
take off for work. Miss a week.
But however, we as an overwhelming majority are stuck in this capitalist system. We choose to play this game. The Apostle Paul said that to use this world and not abuse it. So we know what the end goal is. We know what the main thing is. Our main thing is to get eternal life, make it into the kingdom of heaven, and that's when we're really gonna have riches, lands, women, and more.
Sovereignty.
And you're not gonna have to pay taxes on it either. Because let's say you do go off the grid. Let's say you bought a plot of land, you're still gonna have to pay property taxes on it, that's unfair. But hey, that's the country we live in.
Right. This is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 7. says that in the ages to come he might show the exceeding riches of his grace and his kindness towards us through Yahushua. Says,
Read it again from the top.
Ephesians 2:7 says that in the ages to come he might show the exceeding riches of his grace
The
and
exceeding riches of his grace, carnally and spiritually. Because we are going to be rich. There's not going to be a homeless Israelite in the kingdom of heaven. Unless that's how they want to live. But for the most part, not even for the most part, every Israelite is going to be good. They're going to be straight.
right.
They're not going to be destitute and poor, homeless living out in the streets. You know?
Even the lowest, not the lowest, but even the least Israelite in the kingdom of heaven is going to have a mansion.
'Cause that's what you choose.
He's not going to be living in a shack.
Yeah. And even if you do have a shack, it might be like a bungalow or something like that. It'll be something small, but it'll be nice, nice put together.
You'll always have the option to have more in the kingdom of heaven if you're an Israelite. You'll never have to worry. Like that'll just be a thing of the past, worrying.
Like think about it, our lives are so bad now that you'll be happy with a nice bungalow somewhere. You don't gotta pay property taxes on it. You don't gotta work.
Right.
You'll be happy with that.
Right.
You got your land, you can farm, you start getting the farming. You might even start getting the camping, you know, in the wilderness. Start doing activities that you never really used to do before. So I mean, just think about that. That's on a low level, you know. On the high end, you might have a castle. Brother might have a castle.
And you're going to have subjects.
Exactly. So that's why, what is this? How's it go? That even being a doorman in the kingdom of heaven is not going to be so bad.
Right. So Ephesians 2:7 says that in the ages to come he might show the exceeding riches of his grace and his kindness towards us through Yahushua. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of the Most High.
So by grace you are saved through faith. So we're not saved by the law. You know how some Israelites teach all the law. You got to keep the law this, the law that, 100%. Well, how is that possible when we're in captivity? How is that possible when we're still in the flesh, these fleshly bodies? You know, the whole point of the new covenant is to get a new body so that we're not going to be subject to sin anymore. Oh, and now they saying, some of these camps are saying that we are under the new covenant. I don't even understand how that makes sense.
That's remedial at this point.
I wouldn't even entertain that. Like, I would expect that from somebody that's not in truth, but for an Israelite to say that, that's just crazy.
You could just die.
I gotta ask a Christian about that next time. Well, yo, what's up with the new covenant? What you know about that? Are we under it or are we not? And if a Christian says no, then that's sad for these Israelites.
It ain't hard to tell, right?
Yeah, like where's my glorious body at?
Right. Yeah, it's still getting up and going to work. Like, what do you mean we're under the new covenant?
You still get sick every winter, every fall.
Overweight, all these kind of nonsense.
You got diabetes.
This is Psalms 84. I'm gonna start at the 8th verse. Point is the 10th verse. It says, O Lord, power of hosts, hear my prayer. Give ear, O power of Jacob. Salah. It says, behold, O power, our shield, and look upon the face of thine anointed. For a day in thy courts is better than 1,000.
A day in thy courts is better than 1,000 days that we living in this kingdom, this society of Esau's.
One day in the kingdom of heaven is going to be better than 1,000 years.
Exactly.
Like, that goes to show you.
Because you're going to go to sleep, wake up, and you're not even going to have to worry about all the things that trouble you in this world today.
It's the first of the month. Now you hear stress.
Yeah, like, I got to pay my car note, I got to pay my mortgage.
Right.
I got all these bills, man. And then once you paid all your bills. What do you have left over for yourself?
You got your credit card debt. You gotta get your groceries for the week. You gotta fill your car up with gas. The fuck you got left?
You might even have like a little garden. Like let's say you have that now, but you don't really have time to like cultivate it the way that you would want to,
Right.
or you don't even have enough land, really. You know. So it's like
Living in a project.
from the small, simple things to the large things. Everything is going to be covered. We're going to be straight in the kingdom of heaven.
Psalms 84:10 again. Says, "For a day in thy courts is better than 1,000."
The most you're going to have to worry about is how you're going to organize your eating utensils on your table and beside your castle. That's the most you're going to have to worry about. You're going to eat off the silver forks and spoons, or are you going to use the golds? Which one you know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
I forgot one of the brothers. He was like, "I'm not letting Edomites into my mansion." He said, "I'm gonna have Moab in there."
Yeah, that's a fact. I wouldn't even want Edomites living on my lands.
This is
What about you?
Nah, they can go. They can work outside. Have them outside.
But you gonna let them live on your property?
Yeah. I have a nice little shed or something for them.
I'm gonna have to have acres at that point. I don't want to see you. I might want to walk outside with my shirt off or something like that. I don't want to have to worry about nobody rolling up on me.
This is Psalms 84:10.
But see, that's the most you're gonna have to worry about in the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
Stuff like that. How you want to live, your preference. How you want things.
In America, you got tribulation coming around day by day, week by week, month by month. You can't catch a break here.
Exactly. Let you miss a payment on your car note, they're gonna come repo it. Let you lose your job, then what?
Bro, you already live in check to
So
check.
you gotta stay attached to the system just so that you could stay in debt and pay your mortgage or pay your rent.
Right. Again, this is what y'all want to hold on to. Psalms 84:10 says, "For a day in thy courts is better than 1,000."
Oh, and another thing too is you might have a castle, right? And then you might decide, well, where I want to place my courtyard, because in the old days you had courtyards, and then you would have like plants around in the courtyard. They even show that today in the UK, in places like that. They'll have like a courtyard, and they'll have like plants, stuff like that. Just wanted to throw that out there. And that's dope. I mean, think about that. You have a courtyard in your house.
Right.
You can step outside. You have nice stone walls, courtyard,
Vineyard
in the back. You might have your garden, on the side somewhere.
Psalm 84:10 says, "For a day in thy courts is better than 1,000. I had rather be a doorkeeper in the house of the Most High than to dwell in the tents of wickedness."
So this is the tents of wickedness. This is how we living right now. And you can say that we literally are living in tents. I seen a video of this chick somewhere in New York City, and she was paying like $650 or $950 for a tiny ass apartment. I think it's like an 80 by 80, something like that.
Man.
Yeah, it's just tiny. It don't even got like a bathroom or kitchen. So it's like as soon as you walk in, the couch is there, she got the TV there, and then her bed is like up. She got to go up a ladder, and when she like lays down and gets up, like she damn near bumps her head on the top of the ceiling.
She's sleeping in a cubby. That's America, especially New York.
Yes, you go certain places around the country, you're gonna be paying like $1,500, $2,000 for a studio apartment.
Right.
Whereas in the old days, you can get a studio and it's affordable for you to live on your own. But the same thing that you was getting back then versus now, it's unaffordable. Same thing goes with haircuts. How after 2020, the price of haircuts went up. You're paying more for the same haircut that you was getting years ago.
Yeah.
Like, how does that work?
You would be hard pressed to spend over $25 for a haircut. Now that's like the norm. And now it's like, even in like, say like in New York, like Manhattan, even the Bronx, like due to gentrification, a place that's like not even that nice, since Esau moving in there and building up, you know,
the Brooklyn.
yeah, building up the property, making it look nice, that $2,500 apartment is $6,000 now. A 2-bedroom apartment, spending $6,000 in Manhattan.
Yeah,
And it's not even in a nice area. It's not all that nice looking.
Yeah, I seen a TikTok of this chick. She was saying how she lives in New York, and they built like a luxury building in her hood. She lives in the hood, and she's like, "Why are they building this? You know, nobody can afford these apartments." She looked up the prices, bro. $4,000 for I think like a 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
$6,000. Like who's affording that?
Right. That's what they do in gentrification. Like across the street from Marsden housing, the projects, you have condominiums literally across the street from a project.
Yeah, and then the story goes, when they built the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, they had to destroy a lot of buildings where Jake was living.
Yeah. That's Esau for you though. Psalms 84:11 says, For the Lord power is a sun and shield. The Lord will give grace and glory. No good thing will he withhold from them that walk uprightly. O Lord, power of hosts, blessed is the man that trusteth in thee.
Yeah,
So again, the promises.
it's better for you to trust in the Most High than to trust in man or in this capitalist system. It's always going to be better for you to do that. However, you're going to have Jakes that don't see it like that. Like, nah, man, if I work hard, if I stay down, I'm going to get where I want to be in life.
You gotta stay down to come up, which is true.
You got to dream. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shoot, look at all that dreaming that Dame Jazz did. Now he's saying that he owes like $10 million or something like that to the IRS. When back in the day, after he sold what is Rockaware or Rockefeller or whatever, you know, he got cashed out. He got a good amount of money, millions. Now what does he have to show for it? He's in debt. All because he wants to dream. You want to dream, nigga? How about you shift your focus to the kingdom of heaven where you don't have to worry about income tax?
Fuck Dave Dash. That nigga's a weirdo. He's another one of those God is a woman talking ass niggas.
But he's right when he's right.
This is James 1:1. It says, James, a servant of the Most High and of the Lord Yahushua, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad.
12
Greeting.
tribes scattered abroad. So, this was written over 2,000 years ago, the specific scripture that we're reading. And so, the way that the history goes is that the 12 tribes were scattered, you know, mainly on Northern Kingdom, 10 tribes. Remember how last week the guy rolled up on us and I told him that, believe it or not, your people come from the Middle East? Well, the reason why they come from the Middle East and migrated to North Central and South America is because 10 tribes, also known as so-called Latinos, were in the Syrian captivity. And so they got about the Syrian captivity a couple thousands of years ago. And then they said, hey, we're gonna migrate to another side of the world where no man lives, and we're gonna keep the Most High's commandments, which they didn't. So that's how the story goes.
All right, James 1:1. James, a servant of the Most High and of the Lord Yahushua, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. And here in Babylon, when you catching hell, you know, it just makes you frustrated with this place, and then that makes you just want the kingdom of heaven even more. Like, I'd be in traffic, and I just be pissed. I just be like, fuck this place. I'm tired of this shit.
When you wake up in the morning, you just mad.
Right? Imagine being in a fucking traffic for an hour to get to the plantation. Like, god damn.
You know, the average expectation for people is they gotta wake up go to work, come back home, have barely any recreational time for themselves, and rinse and repeat. Get up the next day, do it again.
Right. It says, but let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. Okay, let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 2. I'll start at the first verse. It says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright, and constantly endure.
Constantly endure. So that's any Israelite in the knowledge on a daily basis, because we know that we're the cream of the universe. You know, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the cream of the crop. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like we're not living the way that we want to. You know, we're subject to oppression. You know how the scriptures say the borrower is subject to the lender.
Yeah, borrower is servant to the lender.
Yeah.
Subject to payments.
So that's us when you want to go and get a house. You always have to get a mortgage because it's not like you got $300,000 or $200,000 lying around.
Cash, liquid.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a car to get to the job every day. You know what I'm saying? Or you might even pay public transportation, which that's
Even that's high now.
that's a struggle. As you gotta get up and commute to work every day, you gotta rely on public transportation. Now that's a system.
That's hell.
That's a system that you have to follow right there. Now you gotta follow the train schedule, the bus schedule.
The train.
All to do the same thing that you hate doing every day.
Right. Train late. Niggas playing on the train. Somebody go to tracks. Now you gotta wait for the train. You late to work.
So that's no way for us to live.
That's hell.
I'm surprised that we even made it this far without a revolution happening, to be honest. But people are feeling it now because the cost of living is so high. It's gotten higher over the years.
They got football. Basketball season about to start up.
Oh yeah. They got they sports and entertainment, which is a distraction.
You know, they bread and circus. As long as they got that, they're gonna be all right. Like you remember during the peak of the, you know what?
2020.
Yeah, you know the peak when you couldn't go to restaurants, you couldn't go to like bars or none of that. All that kind of stuff was closed. I mean, if you didn't have the the jump shot, you couldn't go. And that was a big incentive right there for people to go. I know people personally that's like, I just get it so I could go to the bar.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of shit is that?
So that's really all America has left is entertainment.
Bread and circus. And as soon as that gets taken away from them, this place is gonna go up in flames.
You know, the scriptures speak about it being the mirth of the land. Mirth means entertainment. So once all that goes away, then it's like, what are you people gonna have to live for?
Right.
It's sad.
People live just for the weekends.
TGIF.
It says, Ecclesiasticus 2:2 says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him.
So the same way gold is tried in the fire, it's the same way the Most High's elect is going to be tried through the fire. You know, the hopeful elect are going through the fire right now.
With that MOTB, that's going to be the big test. This is like pop quiz.
And there's certain people they're gonna sink or they're gonna swim,
Yup.
or they're gonna burn, or they're gonna make it to the water, and then have their thirst quenched forever.
That's like that jump shot. That was a pop quiz. But the real test is coming. And if you fail that, chances are you're gonna fail that one too. This is 2 Corinthians. I'll start at the eighth verse. It says, "For this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it might depart from me."
After that, we're gonna wrap it up.
It says, "And he said unto me, My grace is sufficient for thee." This is Yahushua speaking. It says, "My grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities than glory in my infirmities, that the power of Yahushua may rest upon me."
Yeah, because Yahushua is that mediator that gave us the chance to get back into the good graces of the Most High. He's the one that went on the cross and died for our sins. We all know how the story goes.
It says, "Therefore I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distress, for Yahushua's sake. For when I am weak, then am I strong. I am become a fool in glorifying. Ye have compelled me, for I ought to have been commended of you. For in nothing am I behind the very chiefest apostle, though I be nothing."
Yeah, so right now we're down, but we're not out.
And you know, people, you know, they see us, especially when we're out here in the cold and the dead, like when winter really strikes and it be fucking 30 degrees out here. People really be driving past and looking like, yo, they're crazy. They probably look at us like we are foolish.
That's fine, because at the end of the day, or at least tonight, the kingdom is going to come. So that's it.
I'm gonna read this last one. This is James 5:7. "Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth." You know, the husbandman, you know, being Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, and the precious fruit being his elect. It says, "And hath long patience for it, until he receive the early and latter rain. Be ye also patient to establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh." That's it on that.
Yep. So with that, we're going to close. Shalom.
Shalom.
Until next time.